Okay, so Apple just dropped iOS 26.5. And yeah, I probably know what you're thinking. Another update? Didn't we just get iOS 26.4? And yes, we did. But here's the thing. Even though this one seems kind of like a lame update, there are a couple of important changes in this one that I think you need to know about before it hits your phone. Especially one thing in your Messages app that's a bigger deal than Apple is leading on. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything that's new in iOS 26.5, what it does, and what it means for you. And honestly, a couple things Apple is being a little sneaky about too. So let's get right into it. Before we dive into the features, for anyone who's not familiar, real quick, iOS 26 is the operating system your iPhone is currently running on if you've been keeping things updated. Apple changed their naming system and now uses the year. So iOS 26 basically covers everything from late 2025 through 2026. That's why we jumped from iOS 18 straight to iOS 26. It wasn't a glitch, Apple just wanted all their software to share the same number. Now, iOS 26.5 is what we call a point update. It's not a massive overhaul like iOS 26 itself was. It's more like Apple going in with a wrench and tightening some bolts, fixing some things, and quietly adding a few new features. So if you're watching this, that means you're ready to update today to iOS 26.5. All right, let's talk about what's actually in it now. So I feel like this one is the most important feature in this update, and it might also be the most confusing sounding. RCS End-to-Ed Encryption. Let me break that down in plain English because it matters a lot actually. So you probably know that when you text someone with an Android phone, it shows up as a green bubble. For a long time, those green bubble texts were not very private. Like they could potentially be intercepted by carriers or hackers while traveling through the network. Kind of like sending a postcard versus a sealed letter. Anyone handling the mail could read your postcard. Now, Apple already fixed this for Blue Bubble iMessage conversations a long time ago. Those texts are locked with what's called end-to-end encryption, meaning only you and the person you're texting can read them. Not Apple, not your carrier, nobody. But when texting Android users, that privacy layer just wasn't there. Until now. iOS 26.5 is finally bringing that same level of encryption to RCS messages, which is the modern texting standard that replaced the old SMS green bubble system. So now when you text your friend on Android, those messages are going to be wrapped in that same sealed letter protection. This is huge for people who care about privacy. And honestly, everybody should care about this. Here's how to check it once you update your phone. Go into your settings, then click on apps. Now search for messages and go ahead and tap on it. Then scroll down to RCS messaging. You'll see a toggle that says end-to-end encryption. It should be on by default, but just go ahead and double check it anyways. Now, one warning, Apple has been testing this since iOS 26.4, and it didn't make the cut for that release. But luckily now we'll have this feature and it'll actually be live. All right, next up, Apple Maps. And this one is a two-parter because Apple is doing something good and something a little controversial. Let's start off with the good stuff. iOS 26.5 is adding a feature called Suggested Places to Apple Maps. Think of it like your Maps app now has a brain that pays attention to what you've been searching for and what's trending in your area. So if you've been searching for coffee shops a lot, it might start surfacing new ones nearby. If there's something popular happening in your city, it'll bubble that up for you too. It's honestly a really nice quality of life upgrade. Instead of just opening Maps and staring at a blank search bar, now you've got smart recommendations waiting for you. Kind of like how TikTok's For You page figures out what you like, Maps is starting to do the same thing for places. Okay, so now the less exciting part. Apple is also laying the groundwork for ads in Apple Maps. Yes, ads in Maps. I know. When you update to iOS 26.5, the first time you open Maps, you're going to see a little pop-up. It'll say something like Maps may show local ads based on your approximate location, current search terms, or view of the map while you search. Now, they're not actually showing ads quite yet. The ads are apparently coming this summer, but Apple is setting the stage right now with this update. Look, I totally get why businesses want this. It lets them pay to show up higher in your search results when you search for, let's say, pizza near me, similar to how Google Maps has had sponsored listings for years. But Apple Maps always felt like this ad-free, clean experience, and now here we are, that's changing. My personal take on this is a bummer, but I don't feel like this is going to completely ruin the app, to be honest. As long as ads are clearly labeled and don't spam you constantly, most people will adapt. But still, it's worth knowing what's coming. Okay, this next one is more niche, but if it applies to you, it's going to feel like magic. No, I'm just kidding. So, as you probably know, Apple makes these accessories called the Magic Keyboard, Magic Mouse, and Magic Trackpad. Here's how it works now. You plug one of these accessories into your iPhone with a USB-C cable, and that's it. Once you do that, your iPhone automatically pairs with it over Bluetooth. So next time you're near that keyboard or trackpad, your iPhone just connects. No settings app, no hunting through menus, no frustration. It sounds small, but this is kind of the thing that makes Apple's ecosystem feel seamless, especially if you're someone who works on your iPhone at a desk with external accessories, or you're using your phone like a little desktop setup. This is a genuine upgrade for you. All right, this next feature is kind of interesting from a how you pay for apps standpoint. Apple is introducing a new way for app developers to charge for subscriptions. Monthly billing with a 12-month commitment. Okay, what does that mean exactly? So right now, when you subscribe to an app, you usually either pay month to month, higher price, cancel anytime, or you pay annually upfront, get a discount, but you're handing over that full year's money all at once. The new option is kind of a hybrid. You commit to 12 months, so you get that discounted rate, but you get billed month by month instead of all at once. It's like signing a lease for an apartment instead of paying all 12 months of rent up front. You're still committed to the year, but the payments are spread out. The catch though, if you cancel early, you keep paying until those 12 months are up. So read the fine print before committing. Also, one weird thing, this is going to be available worldwide, but not in the US. Apple hasn't explained why either. So if you're watching from the US, like a lot of you probably are, this one doesn't directly apply to you just yet. A couple more things that are smaller, but still worth mentioning real quick. First, if you're switching from an iPhone to Android or helping someone do that, iOS 26.5 gives you more control over what message attachments get transferred. You can now choose to bring over none of your attachments, the last 30 days, the last year, or everything. Before, it was kind of like an all or nothing thing. This is just a cleaner, smarter experience. Second, Apple Books is getting some hints of a new year in review for 2026 feature with badges and achievements like the Loyal Reader and the Power Reader. Think of it like Spotify Wrapped, but for your reading. This is only hinted at in the code right now and may not show up until later in the year, but it's still cool to see Apple trying to gamify reading a little bit. Third, and this one is mostly for folks in Europe, Apple is expanding iPhone features like live activities and AirPod-style auto pairing to third-party smartwatches and headphones. This is actually required by EU law under something called the Digital Markets Act, which basically forces Apple to be more open to competition in Europe. So, if you're rocking a non-Apple Watch over there, you're about to get some features that were previously Apple Watch exclusive. And finally, new Pride wallpapers are coming with this update as well. iOS 26.5 introduces a new Pride Luminance wallpaper and a matching Apple Watch face for Pride Month in June. Now, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention this, and it actually explains why iOS 26 is a relatively quiet update. Apple is almost certainly already deep into building iOS 27. WWDC, Apple's big developer conference where they announce major software, is happening on June 8th, just a few weeks away. That's when we'll get our first real look at iOS 27. And based on the leaks and rumors I've seen so far, it sounds like that's going to be a much bigger deal than this update is. We're talking about a rebuilt Siri with serious AI upgrades, Gemini integration, and features designed for what might be the first ever or foldable iPhone. So think of iOS 26.5 as Apple tying up loose ends and finishing up some things they promised before the big show. It's not trying to be the star of the show, it's the warm-up act. That said, the RCS encryption alone makes this a worthy update, so I feel like you should definitely upgrade your phone. Privacy upgrades like that are not something to be slept on. So that's everything you need to know about iOS 26.5. Here's a quick recap. Number 1, RCS End-to-Ed Encryption. Your green bubble text are finally getting real privacy protection. Number 2, Apple Maps gets smarter with suggested places, but ads are coming this summer, so heads up. Number 3, Magic Keyboard, mouse, and trackpad now auto pair via USB-C. Number 4, new App Store subscription billing option, monthly payments, annual commitment. And number 5, better data transfer controls when switching between iPhone and Android. And iOS 27 is right around the corner, so stay subscribed because we are going to go deep on that once Apple reveals it at WWDC. If you found this helpful, please drop a like on the video and let me know your thoughts on this update. What feature are you most excited about? And honestly, how do you feel about ads coming to Apple Maps? I want to hear it. All right, that's it for now, and I will see you in the next video.